Shane?
Now first of all, I lay out me a little grid, that way I can make each side level. And then I get my pinstriping brush here. It's all squirrel hair, and Mac Brush Company out of Jonesville, Michigan makes them. And a lot of people palette out on the flat, but I use a cup, and then that way it don't dry out as much. But I never know what I'm doing before I do it. I just go for it. So let's see what we can do. Start out with a center and then work my way out. And then after I'm done, then I could wipe the grease pencils off. And then more or less, you try something new, because if you do the same thing all the time, then everything looks the same. And everybody driving down the street got the same stuff on it. So I just sort of bring it out of my head just as I'm doing it. But I never know what it's going to end up unless they sort of got an idea, and then I work with it. But I use one-shot paint with lacquer thinner. It's pretty hard to use lacquer thinner because it dries so fast. But if you do this every day for a living, you get a little used to it.
So Shane, how long have you been doing this?
20 years.
Man, a feller's gotta love something like that to keep doing it.
Oh man, I started out doing signs, and then got into more of the custom field. And then when I was 19, I started doing this on my own, and I got my pinstriping down. Then I got into airbrushing, gold leafing, glass etching. But glass etching, there ain't much of a cause for it. Not many people know what they want, and you can't really glass etch their window and then them change their mind. There is no change in your mind.
Yeah, once it's done, it is done.
Yeah. So I sort of got out of that and got into more or less murals, flames, and then the striping. The striping at the shows is always a big hit, and there's always money to be made. But I do one side, then I'll come back over and do the other side. It sort of helps me keep even and straightened out. A little bit easier to make it uniform when you get done. Yeah, let's go this way. But we're here at Montgomery County Fairgrounds, and we call it a rat Fink Party. And Ed Big Daddy Ross was a striper back in the 50s, and he was a good friend and passed away, and we keep his name in honor and try to do charity shows. And everything that we paint up here and auction off to the public goes to Children's Medical Center, or if we're in a different place, some kind of thing for the kids or anything. And the guys, they come in because they know the good Lord gave us this talent. We're going to turn around and do good with it and help others with it. I mean, it ain't nothing but time. And if you can make someone happy, it makes me feel good. But then after I get done with one color, depending on if there's other guys with me or from solo, that another guy will get another color. I'll sign it with the violet here, and then maybe he'll do blue, and then he'll sign it with that color. That way you know which each artist did and what colors they did it with. The fun part is not knowing what you're doing and make sure if it shows up any good, then you're sort of proud of yourself.
Now, what would you do if you made a mistake?
Oh, you can wipe it off because it's still fresh. Like, see, I put my finger in it, but after it dries, you're bumming. Of course, I use my clothes, so I don't have many clothes without paint on them. I have a bunch of towels and rags around me, but I just don't like using them, I guess.
They're not nearly as available.
No. But do little different designs Oh shoot, we probably need to come back up this way again.
So you just develop a feel for it after the years you've been in it.
Yeah. And you can hit car shows and cruise-ins and that and stripe in the parking lots. I'll paint under a tree or anything I can and just have fun with it.
What's a good way for young people to get into this?
Practice, practice, practice. You come up and you gotta want it bad. Like when I was growing up, I wanted to be one, and I got laughed at a lot because there's only like one out of every 100 people that try it ever make it as a full-time job. And I've never had another job in 20 years. This is all I do. But it's fun. You get to do neat things and get to work on some wild rides and be able to meet all kinds of other neat, wild people that can do so many bizarre things, you know?
That's the true fun of it right there.
Oh yeah, the people you meet. Like this weekend I met a few new guys and they're just so cool. You know, me and my buddies, we could get together and make lots of money for the kids, and they ain't greedy. 100% of what we paint, we give away. We don't want more money.
That's excellent, man.
It's just fun. And if we could do it, why not? Sometimes I'll throw a few little highlights here and there. And then now it's ready for the next guy.
There you go, man.
Like there's a good friend of mine, El Vego. Every time I do a show or a charity, he's there. He turns it out and he'll make eyes and a nose and a mouth out of stripes and make it look like a tiki. And then maybe we can get some filmage of that next and some of his finished product and see how wild and bizarre and how much insight that you can get in just some lines.
We're going to do that, Shane.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Uh-huh.